The guitar, a spiritual six-string sonic powerhouse. Millions of players dream about emulating their heroes and performing on the grand stage, and Guitar Star is back to make those dreams a reality. This year we're going to be making an even bigger noise, with the help of some guitar and music industry legends. 10-time Grammy Award-winning jazz guitar great George Benson.
Being who I am and where I came from, I know what potential can mean.
Award-winning classical virtuoso Milos.
I think I'm going to be the toughest one of the three. All my friends knows that I always say what I think.
And myself, rock producer Tony Visconti. Over the following weeks, we'll be joined by a host of other heavyweight headline acts from the guitar world.
When you play, give it all you've got from here.
Showmanship, to me, is really important.
The minute you hear them playing, you get one note, and you know who it is.
What I always look for in a great guitarist is somebody who can make me feel something.
You manage to take that emotion and transfer it into somebody else. That's what technique is.
Together, we'll be finding incredible talent, then mentoring and honing their skills until just one great guitarist emerges, ready to take on the ultimate prize, performing on the main stage at Latitude Festival this summer. This is Guitar Star. We're in London, and we've come to the South Bank Centre in the heart of the city, where we've invited a selection of the UK's most talented guitarists to take their first steps to guitar stardom. We received applicants from guitarists of all genres looking for the chance to take part.
My name's Yinka, and this is my entry for Sky Arts Guitar Star 2016.
There's nothing else in this world that I love more than music and guitar.
Here's a little jam.
We narrowed it down to those we felt had real star potential across all styles of guitar playing in the UK, from rock to jazz, classical to acoustic. Today, they're going to take part in a one-off edition where they'll be given a chance to impress George, Milos, and myself, and earn a place in our final 8. We'll be working together, but we all have our own ideas on what we want from our guitarists.
I'm looking for variety. I'm looking for command of the instrument. I'm not looking for perfection.
I love guitarists that are innovative. A master guitarist can make the guitar appear to have a soul.
Star is someone who has so many different attributes. Showmanship, creativity, technique. I think the list can go on and on and on and on.
So if they play and make me happy and I know they enjoy what they do, that's big time for me.
Time for us to make our way to the audition area. And for our guitarists, their big moment on stage awaits.
Everybody's good, and you can hear them noodling and practicing and everything else, and so it's making me want to raise my game. So it brings a certain amount of nerves, but I think it's excitement, really.
I'm really excited to perform in front of the mentors, especially George Benson, just as he's been an idol of mine for a long time, and to perform in front of him is one of my all-time dreams and goals.
And I can't wait to play for the judges, especially Milos. It's just going to be wonderful to maybe have the chance to meet him as well.
Performing in front of Tony is a great opportunity, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I'm going to give it my all and hopefully it will pay off.
So Milos, what are you expecting to see and hear today?
We are here in one place with so many different types of guitars, so many different types of genres, people of all different ages and backgrounds.
I expect that there's going to be a lot of variety. All of the people here today are going to hear something special.
And I expect we'll see some of tomorrow's stars on this series in all the different styles that they play and come with. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So with the crowd and mentors in place, it's time to bring on the talent. And our first guitarist is 54-year-old bluesman Dave Press.
I play rock guitar and blues guitar. I play sort of bottleneck, that slide guitar. Playing in front of George Benson and Tony Visconti and Milos. I feel that they would judge everybody from a very realistic viewpoint because they know how hard it is. So it's a tough old game. So it'd be a pleasure and an honour. Let's do it, yes.
Oh my God, jeez. What am I going to do? Right.
So he's great for starting out the show, kicking off the series. That's a very unique style.
Yeah.
I can't even describe it.
It's a Dave Press style.
It's maniac bottleneck. You know?
Yeah, that's some rough and tumble guitar. Yeah.
He made a lot of noise. Yes. But good handling noise.
It is good. Yeah, it is
and
very...
he had hands which were the speed of lightning.
Very muscular. That is muscular guitar playing.
Well, Robert Johnson did not play with that kind of zest and speed because that wasn't required in those days. He was a down-home blues man.
I added the kitchen sink, if you will, and I speeded it up like a mad train that was out of control.
The way he approached it, it was a nice surprise. It was very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. So he's a really consummate all-around performer.
So Dave Press kicks things off in style, and hoping to make a similar impression, it's 14-year-old classical guitarist Billy Watman.
I'm a crossover classical guitarist, and I've mixed like some of my favourite songs with kind of classical technique. I'm really excited to play later today because I'm going to be playing in front of Miloš, and I think that he's a real inspiration to kind of like the style I play. In future, I'd love to be playing like around the world, kind of like big audiences, kind of just playing like solo guitar, kind of like a bit like what Miloš does, I guess.
Billy Watman is classically trained. He's going to play Bohemian Rhapsody, and he is 14 years old.
Wow.
So let's hear Billy.
Oh, he's so cute.
I like him already.
Yeah. Very ambitious.
He is the most confident performer, which is very rare in classical guitar.
Yeah, that's right.
But his technique and the way he approached it was quite interesting.
He really wants to be a classical crossover artist, which is unique. You know,
wonderful.
That's an occupation that didn't exist 20 years ago.
But once you know music and you master it to that degree, you can go any direction you want.
Yes, yeah.
You know, what I would be very curious to hear is now hear him play a proper classical piece, just so that I can see a little bit more.
I would absolutely love to work with the mentors and have masterclasses with all of them, and I really hope there's enough to get me through to the next round.
This is Guitar Star. So far, we've seen our first two guitarists manage to impress. And up next to audition is a familiar face, 24-year-old acoustic guitarist Haitham Mohammed, who's returned after a family bereavement cut short his time on the show last year.
This time last year, I auditioned. A week, 2 weeks before the audition, there was a family tragedy that really shook me. Last year, I was a bit nervous. So this year, I feel like I'm a lot tougher. I hadn't been on the gigging circuit then, but leading up to this, I've had tons of experience gigging, so I want to show off the newer stuff I've been up to, the more up-to-date stuff. So yeah, feeling really good, actually.
Thanks very much for being here. I was supposed to be wearing jeans today, but I spilt coffee on them. So if you think I'm looking a little scruffy, it's an accident. I hope you like it anyway. Thanks very much.
All right.
Good, really great.
He's right in it.
Very original, man.
Fantastic.
Very original.
I like that from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And he got so many tones out of the guitar. In that middle bit, it sounded like he was playing an electric. He was playing like a lead electric line.
He's a very talented
really
guy.
good.
His rhythm is outstanding.
Yeah, when he got down to business, he was really good.
I agree. He didn't let this environment intimidate him. He was just straight up.
People like people who have that kind of confidence. I do too.
I'm a huge fan of George Benson's. I kept looking up and I kept on seeing him watching me. And I kept on thinking, I hope I'm playing this right.
But don't forget, he started off with a terrible deficit. His pants spilled coffee on his real pants. He was unaware. And those pants he had on were...
Yeah, but that can be quite liberating.
Track bottoms.
You must have had suitcases lost in...
Oh, man. Yeah. If it can be done, it's been done.
Yeah, exactly.
Going down in the middle of the desert on an airplane on fire, and we survived that. So ain't nothing I ain't seen out there on the road.
Next up to perform is budding rock guitarist, 15-year-old Jake Heaton.
I'm going to play in Rush Spirit of Radio because I did it for my grade 8 piece and I think it's a banging tune and it's one of the ones I got the highest marks on. But I love playing in front of people and I'm buzzing. Yeah.
Spirited, man.
Oh my God.
He had a good tone and he had a good technique, excellent technique.
He looks so comfortable with that guitar. It's like it's part of his body.
Starting to, repeat itself for a while, and I figured that was the end.
Yeah.
And then he changed up all of a sudden.
Yeah,
he started playing all the famous rock. That's my favorite.
I knew this piece. In the beginning, it was kind of standard. It wasn't anything special. Then he did kick it up that few notches. And
he had a very nice progression.
He made it his own.
At first, I was a bit nervous because it's something new, but then when I got into it, I was really loving it. And during the performance, I got a cheeky wink off Milosh, and all the mentors were smiling, so I thought that went really well.
Oh, he's going to be amazing if he keeps it up.
It's just that my ears need a holiday now.
That is like, you just getting used to it now, man?
It's just so loud.
So 15-year-old Jake makes a strong impression, proving that age isn't a barrier to mastering the guitar.
When did you start?
Started at 8.
He started at 8.
Ukulele at 7 and guitar at 9, so you're right in between.
Guitar you start a little bit later. I wanted to start earlier, but at that time we didn't have smaller guitars.
Yeah.
So, you had to be able to actually hold it.
I couldn't hold the guitar until I was about 11.
My guitars were such bad shape when I was young. The strings would be unraveling. So I changed my whole way of playing, so I wouldn't play hard. I wouldn't press, and I would just barely press the string. That's the way I play today. It helped my speed because I don't waste time going down and letting go. I glide over the string.
You just taught me a lesson. Thank you.
That'll be 500. No, just
Next up, 50-year-old jazz guitarist Edison Herbert, who's looking forward to playing for his idol.
Performing in front of George Benson is like it's a dream come true because I've listened to George Benson as a child and still listen now, so it'll be a great experience.
Good catches, listening to. I'm glad I'm one of them, but he certainly has great potential.
It wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. George Benson gave me the thumbs up just before performing, so that kind of helped, relaxed me a little bit.
There were some beautiful moments in the performance, So he's the kind of guy I'd like to sit down and talk to.
Yes. He would love to meet you.
Yeah?
You got to meet him, man.
Man, that would be outstanding.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm going to be right here.
Edison, can I interrupt this interview? You were great, man. And George Benson wants to meet you, so can you come with me? You are really fantastic, man. Come on.
Hey, man.
Just sit down.
Sit down. Oh, come on, sit next to us, man. This is outstanding, my friend. I really enjoyed your playing, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're one of the few cats that can make that sound so good. Man, outstanding, brother. You really sound good.
Thank you so much. Man, I've got to tell you this. When I was a kid, me and my friend used to sit in the car listening to the World Is a Ghetto. Is it right, man? I was on end, over and over again, and that's what got me started.
We did that in one take. Wow. One take. We couldn't do two because it was so long. I said, no take two. But it was a lot of fun because they had a great band, and no band. They tore that up, didn't they?
Excellent, man. Loved it, man. Wow. Thank you. It was a real pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you so much.
Good performance, man.
God bless, man.
Well done.
We're in London at the South Bank Centre, where we're searching for 8 talented players to join us on a journey into guitar stardom. And today's audition has already provided us with some serious contenders.
So the style of guitar I play is, say, it's acoustic percussive funk. And I was always very percussive growing up. So, tapping on the body and treating the guitar as a drum is just kind of naturally where it went.
He really went for it. He was so focused and he was so in the zone. But I thought there was maybe something wrong with the sound because the tapping was so loud.
Yeah, it was very He did his best, and it was very interesting and moving.
To me, it's the most perfect instrument because you've got your melody and your harmony and your bass. And just the beauty of the sound, the way all the notes and the tones merge together, I just think it's just wonderful.
She clearly loves playing that instrument. It really comes across in her sound and in the way she plays.
Yeah.
Her passion and love for it comes through in every note, and I think that's very, very important. There are a couple of inaccuracies in the text, but overall I enjoyed it very much.
Our next hopeful, playing percussive acoustic fingerstyle, is 23-year-old Becky Langan.
I'm feeling very privileged to be here. I'm really excited about the whole process. I think it's just an amazing opportunity, and I'm so happy to be here.
Becky implies the use of unique alternative tunings, two-handed tapping, percussive tempos, I'm going to like this, and natural harmonic melodies to achieve her distinct sound. Let's go, Becky.
Let's hear some of that.
Very fresh, very original. Very complicated, and she composed it herself. It's amazing, just amazing.
I think she has a lot of potential. She's very young, very shy. It really was very moving.
Yes.
Segovia said, guitar is a small orchestra. It's almost like this guitar is the whole band.
That was, that's right.
A troubadour.
Yeah. I always thought that there should be more women on guitar than there is in the world. I'm talking about out front.
Yeah.
Men have been dominating it for a long time, but there are some great female players, and they, when they attack the guitar seriously, they end up being something special.
That was the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life. I'm quite emotional. I found it quite overwhelming. It's just a great opportunity. yeah, to make it to the next stage.
So Becky Langan manages to make an impression on the mentors, and the next hopeful trying to make it onto the shortlist is 57-year-old blues guitarist Steve Morrison.
I've been playing really guitar all my life. What I do is I can play the bass lines, chords, and the melodies and lead together in one time. So I can often sound almost like 2 or 3 instruments at once.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah, yeah.
I like it.
He's got everything. Yeah. Really in tune. The slide was very difficult, and his tone was phenomenal.
I forgot where I was.
And the harmonics.
That's
Harmonics
a
were
pure, like a
bar was very
mid-range, and a solid low end with the boom. His space was
I think he
great.
played gorgeous.
Oh, very good.
In the main, I'm happy with the performance. Afterwards, I suddenly think, did I rush? Was I, should I have taken a little bit more time? Did I miss some notes? But I think I did a good job today, and I'm happy with myself.
So Steve Morrison gets the plaudits for his distinct blues style. And our next hopeful trying to make an impression is versatile jazz guitarist, 28-year-old Zayn Mohammed.
When I play guitar, people can hear different styles. They can hear a bit of funk, a bit of blues, a bit of jazz, a bit of rock.
Zayn cites George Benson as a musical inspiration.
Well, I'll be.
There might be a few of those around here, including me.
George Benson is honestly, this is completely true. Is kind of the reason I started playing jazz guitar. At the beginning of one of his songs, Breezin', there's this beautiful string arrangement, and it's kind of like butterflies. Flickering around, that's how I feel. I feel like the beginning of George Benson's Breezin'. That's how I feel.
I'm here because of my passion for jazz guitar, because of a gentleman called Mr. Benson, George Benson. And so I can't really think straight. I'm just going to play my guitar instead for you guys, and hopefully that'll suffice. Thank you so much.
All right, my friend.
Yeah, it's good.
It's outstanding.
And he has a very unique style. I think that's really gonna make him go a long way.
Yeah, he's really good.
Last thing I couldn't hear.
Well, he's a
exciting.
pedal master as well as a guitar master. He did the chord changes, and he kicked in the loop, and then he was accompanying himself. That was brilliant.
Just think that there he could have been a bit tighter, but apart from that, yeah.
Well, that's something for him to do. Something for him to add to
But
his
he had my
things to do.
vote.
That was very
love it.
creative.
So a performance to remember from Zayn. But there's one more thing I need to do to really make his day.
Come on over, my friend.
I can't look directly at it.
Come on up.
You can. It's all right.
Come on, my friend. Come on, man. Come on, my brother. Get my friend. Come on, let me love you a little bit. Man, I can tell you that I heard some music in here today. That was exciting, I'll tell you. Well, your technique is outstanding. One more hand for this incredible musician, people. Zayn Mohammed. My pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Take care. That was a dream come true, man.
What an incredible musician, man.
I can die happy, man. I mean, I don't want to tell you, I play jazz guitar because of him. It's George Benson. I don't really know what to say apart from, it's George freaking Benson.
George Benson, Milos, and myself, Tony Visconti, are searching for a guitar star. We're auditioning players across all ages and styles. So far from the acoustic players, we've been impressed by the innovative guitar styles of Becky Langen and Haithan Mohammed. There's been some youthful talent in the shape of 14-year-old classical player Billy Watman and 15-year-old rock guitarist Jake Heaton. And we've had a couple of standout jazz guitar performances from Edison Herbert and Zayn Mohammed, who certainly managed to win George over. And up next, representing the heavy rock guitar sound, it's 17-year-old Keelan Hughes.
I'm a rock player and a bit of a show-off. Well, I want to be a touring musician. I want to play guitar. That's what my life is going to be. That's the plan.
He's determined to make it big.
And
yeah, that's good. That's a good
this is his
start.
own composition.
Okay.
He wrote this piece.
I look up to Tony Visconti as kind of the producer in rock music. He's dealt with everybody amazing, and it's an honor to play in front of him. I'm excited and I'm ready to go. Let's rock.
Outstanding, man.
That guy's a rock star. He's a rock star. Yeah.
The guitar god in the making.
Yeah, he's got a great stage presence.
It wasn't as clean as I would have liked. It was slightly messy in certain areas, but I think I pulled it off.
You have to be daring when you're playing rock and roll. People that's why they like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Because it is daring and unpredictable.
I like this. I mean, I'm so out of my depth because it's completely something I know nothing about.
Okay, man. It's impressive.
It was impressive.
It's impressive. I've worked with many guys who play like that. He was pretty damn good.
I just don't know why does it always have to be so loud.
It's the name of the game.
It's the name of the game. There you go.
Next, something a little easier on Milos's ears. 27-year-old flamenco guitarist Juan Casals Mendoza.
You know, it's something that I've been playing for maybe 14 years now, and people do like it too. So it's nice when you have that back and forth and you can see that if you're losing their attention, it's not good. You
Thank you.
Ole. He was fantastic.
He was. He was on fire. I thought he had everything. He had wonderful rasgados, wonderful way with these lines, very good scales, very accurate.
And he flowed.
He improvised. He gets full marks. He was totally awesome.
Okay.
Obviously, I was a little bit nervous, like always, but I think there was a few moments in there that I really enjoyed, you know, and I felt it was great to be watched by great musicians, you know. I think it was good. You know, I'm happy, put it that way.
I like them baby fingers.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do that for 50 years. I can't even begin to approach that.
That's not
what do
easy.
they call that?
Rasgueados?
Rasgueados.
Rasgueados.
Yes.
Made me realize a relationship between what we do and what flamenco guitar players do.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorites of all time. Yeah. And he said he was afraid to play around me, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" To me, he was such an incredible instrumentalist. His technique was flawless.
Yeah.
And his ideas always made me listen.
So the bar has been set pretty high all day by some very talented players, and as we only have 8 spots, our remaining performers are going to need to work hard to stand out from the crowd.
I play jazz, rock, blues, funk, and a big mixture of stuff, but today I've gone for a kind of a jazz rock piece.
Played it very well, very soulful.
He radiates some sort of warmth.
Yeah.
I don't like the whammy bar.
You don't like that? Jimi Hendrix used it very well. And it's not every guitar player's cup of tea.
He can do things that you can't do. And it really is a valuable tool. It just messes with my technique. I had to drop it.
And with only one chance to impress, the last thing our guitarists need are technical problems.
Malfunction. Yeah, malfunction.
It is risky using a loop pedal. Like, I did have some issues at the beginning, but I just stayed calm and I was breathing deeply and I thought about what I was going to do, and it went okay.
It must be so complicated to tap all these pedals and to know what's going on.
I didn't see her struggling, but
yeah.
But I think she knew what she wanted to do. It was good that she didn't get tangled up in it.
I'm glad she restarted.
Yeah.
That would have crushed her if she didn't do it.
And she didn't make my ears bleed.
No, that's important for you. My ears are all the blood ran out of them years ago.
What I love about the guitar is you're able to kind of inject your own personality into the guitar, you know, and if I'm happy, it kind of comes out. If I'm angry, I can smash it, you know. So I feel at one with the instrument, but that way. You know.
He was very comfortable out there. That's what I liked. He was, performing very nicely.
In front of people, he was fearless. It was good.
Just have to say, Hendrix did it. He did it with a lot more ease. I don't know if his guitar was out of tune before the performance, but it was out by the end. It was out.
They always say that if you bother to tune up, then you're probably going to miss the mark in rock and roll.
We're in London at the South Bank Centre, where guitar star mentors Milos, George Benson, and myself, Tony Visconti, have been auditioning some of the best guitar talent from across the UK.
Because I've developed my own style of playing. It's very expressive. Playing in front of musicians who really know what they're doing, hopefully I can connect in my playing and that'll be noticeable.
It was like doing a good Jimi Hendrix where you could hear that's one of her inspirations.
I thought it was gentle and smooth.
It would be better if she stood up and played.
It's true. I liked that.
You like that?
Yeah, I thought it was very, girl next door.
What makes me stand out is my passion for playing. You know, no one wants to watch someone just sit down and play fast for 10 minutes.
But he was good. His technique was damn good. He was really quite a virtuoso.
Very good at what he did. It was like he had a band up there with him.
Deafening.
Did I hear you complaining?
It made my teeth numb, actually.
Our next guitarist to take to the stage is another rocker, 46-year-old Peter J. Pinto.
I think I'm quite energetic on stage. I like to get people going and enjoying what they're doing and getting into the music. Performing in front of Tony is a big thing. You know, he's a massive producer. He's done some of my favourite bands. And just so long as I do a good job, I'll be happy.
Bring it on, Peter J. Pinto.
All right. Every time he jumped right on it.
Yeah.
I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and that's a nice classic rock song that he made it very modern sounding.
Mm.
That song came out in the 60s. So you really updated that.
Yeah, he did. Did a good job.
I liked him.
I hope I did myself justice. Normally when you play a gig, your first 2 numbers, you sort of get into it and then you're into your stride. So there wasn't much time to do that, so you had to sort of do it in the blink of an eye.
Precise, concise.
Yeah.
The whole thing was done very nicely. I enjoyed it.
It's going to be a really, really tight competition, so, but I'd love to get through it. It'd be a real blessing.
My friends are the baddest rock guitar players in the world. It was the first cat I met when I came on the road was T-Bone Walker. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, sure.
T-Bone Walker is where Jimi Hendrix and all them cats got their stuff from. He used to play with his teeth.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
And then he played behind his back. Whole trip. And when I was 19 years old, he came in the club where we were playing. And he said, you know, I enjoyed your playing, and you're not going to be ordinary. I love what you do. That was the first encouragement I got. Remember, I was a singer. I was not a guitar player. I mean, I played guitar, but I wasn't no guitar player. And I took the gig on the road because I had to get out of Pittsburgh, my hometown. Yeah. And I ran into all the greatest guitar players in the world.
Up next to audition is 25-year-old classically trained acoustic player Jenny Clifford.
Well, I studied classical guitar for years from high school to uni, and after uni I just kind of found my style. It's kind of more acoustic, but I still use the same techniques. I kind of focus on tone and emotion as well.
She's a former classical player. She swapped over. She went to the dark side.
Oh, exactly. Let's see why.
Let's hear Jenny. Yeah.
Beautiful. Definitely Irish.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
That move.
It's kind of very, very subtle the way it built up, you know, and I didn't think it was going to go to that end. It was really good. Excellent.
She knew how to put some accent on it, and it happened in the right place, and it ended beautifully. Standard Irish vibe, and I really appreciate it because the Irish play very melodic things that always make you think. They take you to another place. And she did it beautifully.
It was an okay performance. It wasn't my best performance, but I would love to get to the next round if possible. But I know that everyone in this competition is amazing. It's a high standard.
Before I got to play around the world, I used to teach little kids to play guitar, and I always told them start with classical, and then you can go to the dark side if you want. But start with classical, and she's a wonderful example of that.
Good. She gets a thumbs up from us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely.
Next to take to the stage is 22-year-old classical guitarist Sam Rodwell.
I'd say the guitar means pretty much everything to me at the moment. I'm studying it at the Royal Northern, and I basically spend most of my day practicing. I'm especially excited about playing in front of Milos because he's doing so much for the classical guitar, and it would be great to play in front of somebody that is really dominating the industry at the moment.
He's playing Danza Brasileira. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's beautiful. I recorded it. It's wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, it's going to be a nice holiday. Nice holiday for the years.
So let's hear what Sam Rodwell has to bring us.
You know, this is to moisten the nails.
It's tricky.
Oh, I love that piece. Yeah. It inspires me to start playing again.
How did he do?
Good. Good technique. Yeah. I liked it. He had great way with the piece. He had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. The sound of the guitar seems so natural.
Yes. If there was one thing I would object, it's a bit too fast.
Oh, okay.
The accuracy was a bit of a problem.
All right.
And I think if it was just a notch slower, the whole thing would become much more balanced and much more ironed out.
Okay.
And you can still have that cool Brazilian pulse and punch behind, because it's a very sexy piece.
I love the piece.
Well, he gets a star for
He
me,
gets a
for
star
sure.
for, we'll give him a star. We'll discuss later.
I would love to talk to him, though. Yeah, it's very nice. Hi. How nice to meet you. Well done. You know that's one of my favorite pieces.
Is it? Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, thank you very much. Performing for Milos was a real pleasure. He's doing so much for the classical guitar at the moment, and yeah, to play in front of him and to meet him is a real privilege.
Because it's a wonderful context. You know, you get to play amongst all these different guitar players with different influences and styles. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. It's great.
Well done.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much.
Very sweet.
I'm always mad when I hear these pieces. You know what? Because I can't play them. You know, I love the music.
I'm sure if you tried, you could.
So maybe I can hit on them for some points. Oh,
So we've come to our final audition before we start our deliberations to decide who will be in our final 8, and it's 51-year-old flamenco guitarist Ramon Ruiz.
I like to compose my own music, and I can't even label it. I don't know what it is. It's flamenco with something else. Just kind of excited, a little bit nervous, but I'm up for it, and I can't wait to be there on stage.
Ramon is going to play a composition by Paco de Lucia. It's Almo Raima is the name of the song, and 3 years of Spanish have just paid off.
But I give him credit for being daring, because in this world, if you're going to jump in the ring with the baddest cats, you got to be prepared. And the only way to get to know what it's like is to jump in there.
And to do it, exactly.
So I think that's what he did. He jumped on it,
Agreed.
and he kept his spirits were good.
But then the balance between the strong, impulsive playing and the very, very delicate melodic lines was not there, and the melodic lines really didn't sing out.
There's always an element of nerves there, but halfway through the piece, I started feeling really confident, and I felt that I was in my zone, and the audience was with me, so I really felt good.
So we've come to the end of our day of auditions, in which we've been spoiled by an incredible mix of potential 6-string superstars. And now it's time for George, Milos, and myself to take center stage as we have to make the difficult decision on who's going to make our final 8.
These artists today showed me something special, and they were masters of their instruments. And they came up with some very innovative ideas, and as a matter of fact, I borrowed some. In my mind, I'm going home and practice some things that I didn't know yesterday.
For me, it's always most important to pick the people who play for the music. And there were a couple of those, and there were a couple of surprises.
For me, it was a big learning lesson. And so I was really, really thrilled to be judging with these 2 men on either side. And I was blown away by the incredible virtuosity we saw across all genres and styles.
We should give them an opportunity to have an audience much greater than they've had in the past, and to let people be exposed to what we just heard today.
I'm excited, and I think so are George and Tony. And we all come from different backgrounds, we all have a different point of view, and now we have a decision to make.
We start our deliberations by looking at the jazz players. We all agree on this gentleman?
Yes, we do.
Zayn Mohammed.
Zayn Mohammed, yo. He shocked me when he played the Indian-style melody at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought that music had gone away.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
But he is giving it a whole new
Zayn
life.
Mohammed has resurrected the Indian raga. And then he just went into outer space. He was shredding, but with feeling. You know, he just wasn't doing it for the sake of it. So Zayn is the first guitarist into our final 8. Our second choice in the jazz category is a favorite of George's.
Edison Herbert actually is already on the edge of being a master himself. Listen to the great Wes Montgomery, and he borrowed some things from him and a couple of things from myself, but that's not what makes him great. he turned them into something usable from his own point of view. So I think he's going to be very important in the future.
I just want to see him in the competition to open up. Somehow, I just think he needs to give himself a little bit more air to breathe. You know, I think.
And that's why I think it's important to the mentoring process.
Absolutely.
Especially this fellow who's in my same bag, you know, the jazz world. I understand that world better than anything else.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Now we move on to the classical and flamenco players, and there was one young man who caught Miloš's eye.
Billy,
We love
yes,
Billy.
Yes.
Representing the classical world?
Well, in between.
Yeah, because he wants to be classical
crossover, but he can only be crossover when he's good at classical. So, you know.
Let's keep things in perspective, right?
Exactly.
First
things first.
14, and he wrote an arrangement of Bohemian Rhapsody with guitar. That's
bad. It was good.
High points to that. So Billy Watman made the final 8. We have one classical guy, little Billy, so I thought we'd have to have one or the other of the nylon strung guitar, you know, the classical flamenco. So they are Juan Casals Mendoza or Sam Rodwell.
Sam was my guy. He was a classical guy. He played beautifully.
Right.
And I think that he's a flower that will open as we nurture him through the competition, while Juan, I think, is very much fixed in his ways.
Yeah.
But Billy and Sam can go into completely different directions.
Of course. One being very young.
One being very young and also inclined towards much more populist approach, and then Sam, who, you know, sticks with the very traditional repertoire. I think it will be very interesting to see in the competition how they go their separate ways and who is stronger.
So Sam Rodwell is our other nylon string choice.
Very good.
So we have our first 4 finalists, and with 4 more to pick, our next category is the acoustic players. Haytham Mohammed was just absolutely incredible.
And surprises.
Full of surprises, very innovative, and we really liked him a lot.
Guitar playing, very good.
He's a fabulous musician.
Good.
He looks like this.
And there were 2 other acoustic players who impressed all of us. These 2 ladies played very differently, Becky Langen and Jenny Clifford. Becky Langen, she was really brilliant at the tapping. You know, the best I've seen today. Whereas Jenny Clifford was more straight up acoustic, maybe a tiny bit of tapping or something.
Her classical training paid off in technique, and it allowed her room to search for a new sound. I think Becky Langen has a nice vibe on stage.
Yes.
But her tapping is very entertaining.
Exactly, you're right.
And so it gives another dimension to her performance.
Yeah.
I don't hear that sound that she had everywhere. When people pick up the guitar, it's usually something that's very familiar. That was unfamiliar, but very pleasant sounding. So that's why I picked her.
Yes.
Should we go with Becky?
With a heavy heart.
We go with Becky Langen.
Becky Langen.
The rock category threw up a lot of exciting talent, including Keelan Hughes, Mike Bradley, and Peter J. Pinto. But there was one young guitarist who really stood out for all of us.
Oh, yeah, old Jake Heaton here. I thought I'd heard some great stuff before by the young kid, Billy.
Yeah.
But this youngster here is equally as great at what he does.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves to get a second listen.
For me, out of all the electric guitar players, he somehow was the most natural. And at this young age, I think that's quite remarkable.
And he was very easygoing. You know,
Yeah,
he was like, he could
totally
play,
loved
like,
him.
didn't have to look at his fingers.
Yeah.
So I think he is a showman, and he's also a great guitarist. So we picked Jake Heaton. With 7 of our 8 guitarists chosen, we're torn between 2 of our blues players for the final 8. We have to choose between Dave Press, who is the street busker who played the Robert Johnson song Preachin' Blues, and then we had Steve Morrison, who played Summertime by George Gershwin, and he got a beautiful tone, and he played Bottleneck.
Very innovative.
He was great. He was really, really great.
Easy to listen to and full of tonality. It was warm and funky at the same time.
I like them both. I mean, just by looking at Dave play, my wrists were hurting.
Yeah, so much.
But Steve was, he really got me
He was
somehow.
special.
He was special.
Yeah.
I vote for Steve.
3 of us vote for Steve Morrison. So that's it. We now have our final 8 who will embark on a guitar tour like no other. They are Billy Watman, Becky Langen, Edison Herbert, Haytham Mohammed, Jake Heaton, Sam Rodwell, Zayn Mohammed, and finally, Steve Morrison. So we've got our 8 guitarists, but ultimately we have to pick one.
Well, that one's in there.
That one is in there, and that person has to be capable of, in the final show, going out on a stage in front of a big audience and deliver the goods.
It takes guts to rock the Latitude Festival.
And boy, that's going to be some journey. I'm so glad the 3 of us are going to be a part of it. The 8 guitarists will now begin an intense mentorship program with legendary players from across all musical genres. Next week, the master that is George Benson will not only be performing for them, but also giving one-on-one coaching.
Played the crap out of that, brother.
Jimi Hendrix, man, he changed the game for every guitar player. You got to see this guy. He's fire. Jimi Hendrix, available now on demand, and I'm Huey Morgan for Sky Arts.